At 13 years old, Crystal K became one of the youngest RIAJ certified pop artists in Japan. With more than 3 platinum albums and 6 gold albums, she's one of the most successful J-pop artists in Japan. But before we go forward, let's take it back. Crystal K was born Crystal K. Williams February 26, 1986 in Yokohama, Japan, and is the only child of an African American father and a Korean mother. Although she grew up in Japan, she has no Japanese accent and speaks fluent English due to her bicultural upbringing and attendance at an international school on the naval base in Japan. Though the country is her home, she often felt like an outsider growing up. She spoke about having a complex due to being in Japan, yet having no Japanese heritage. She was one of only 2 Black and Korean students at her school, while the rest of the mixed race students were of Japanese descent. She felt as though she was a minority among the majority. It would take her years to come to terms with her identity and learn to appreciate herself. She says, quote, "I remember going to a summer camp and that sucked. I couldn't make friends and was kind of bullied. It was just things like you're Black and your hair's strange. So I wasn't depressed by it or anything, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. Of course, it can be advantageous to be unique in the music industry, but I never saw it that way. It felt more like people couldn't relate to me. Japan's a largely homogenous country, and I was nothing like the performers they were used to. There were negative comments online. I was called the N-word, and derogatory things were said about my Korean heritage. Being a sensitive soul, it did get to me. As you get older, you realize you've got to go your own way, and if people still say racist things, that's their problem. I feel there's more acceptance now and a growing sense that it's cool to be multicultural and multilingual in Japan." End quote. Fortunately for Crystal, her non-traditional appearance ended up giving her a way to stand out for all the right reasons. Crystal began her career at just 6 years old, debuting as a jingle singer for several companies. In 1999, at just 12 years old, Crystal got a record deal with Epic Records, a sub-label of Sony Music Entertainment Japan. She then teamed up with the composer Kano Yoko to produce her debut single, Eternal Memories. And just like that, Crystal kicked off the new millennium in the year 2000 with her debut album, CLL, Crystal Lover Light. From there, she went on to consistently release an album nearly every year for over a decade. In 2001, she released 637, Always and Forever. 2002, she came back with Almost 17. 2003, she hit the scene with For Real. 2005, she returned with Crystal Style. 2006, she dropped Call Me Miss. 2007, she brought us All Yours. 2008, she came through with Color Change. 2010, started the new decade with Spin the Music. 2012, there was Vivid. 2015, we got Shine. 2018, she did it for us by giving us For You. Then in June of 2025, Crystal released her newest project called All Time Best 25th Anniversary, which has a compilation of 32 of her greatest hits of all time on one album, including 4 re-records and a brand new song. Now, Crystal has a whole catalog full of hits, but a few of her most popular ones were Eternal Memories, Boyfriend Part 2 featuring Inflow, and Koi no Chitara. And just for good measure, my favorite song of hers is Candy, and that was the gateway song that got me hooked on her music. I saw the video when I was a little girl, and I just fell in love with the colorful outfit changes and the bright transitions. Aside from singing and songwriting, Crystal has also shown herself to be a talented actress, dating all the way back to her debut in the 2009 Japanese series Hidaname Tante Ai, where she plays an incarcerated genius hacker who helps the detective decode visual clues. A stark contrast from her usual lighthearted image. Another acting project she did was her 2015 role in the indie film Soul Searching, that ironically centers around foreign-born Korean teenagers of mixed cultural and racial backgrounds who meet at a summer camp. She likely gravitated to the role because she could relate to the plight in the film. In an interview, Crystal did talk about how she actually attended a summer camp in her younger years, and she felt singled out for how she looked. Her most recent film project was in 2023 with a film with the English title Between the White Key and the Black Key, where she stars as a jazz singer. She's also a Broadway actress, and as recently as 2019, she showcased her stage play skills in a Broadway show called Pippin. She also had a role in Hairspray and Rent. Now, unfortunately, her 2020 scheduled performance in Hairspray was canceled due to the pandemic. But as much as Crystal likes to be in front of the camera, she knows how to shine behind the scenes too. Her voice can be heard as a character in the Pokemon movie Giratina and the Sky Warrior that came out in 2008. She also sang the Japanese ending song called One for the movie. Additionally, she went on to have a vocal part in the anime Jungle Tatai in 2009 and another vocal role in 2011 for the Japanese version of Happy Feet 2. She also had a part in the 2023 game called Wild Hearts. Okay, so let's get into these Kirakuni Chronicles. Kirakuni was released as a single in February 2006 from her album Call Me Miss. It was produced and co-written by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It's currently not on any of the streaming platforms due to ongoing licensing and publishing issues. In an Instagram Live, Crystal and Jimmy Jam discussed the song at length, confirming they are aware that it's unavailable on streaming. Jimmy Jam said that he would ask his team to investigate, but as of today in 2025, no resolution has been reached. Now, there are a couple places you can go to see the original music video, but if you know, you know. Oh, but then they spun the block on us, because as of August 6, 2025, thankfully before I was finished with this video, Kirakuni has been set free. What an unexpected anniversary gift to everyone who has been in love with the song. In her post, Crystal K writes, "Y'all, Kirakuni, produced by my musical dads, Official Jam and Lewis, is finally out. This collaboration was a huge moment for my career, and I couldn't believe I was working with such legends. I love you, Jimmy and Terry. Thank you for such a beautiful banger. You all have been asking for years, and finally, you shall receive. After 19 years, we finally did it. Blast it everywhere, and hope you have the best time with it." Speaking of Kirakuni, she actually did perform the song live at her September 2023 pop-up show in Los Angeles, where your girl pulled up to California and interacted with fans up close and personal. She did a couple different venues. One of them was the Stowaway. As you can see, the vibe is real concert, real formal, very glammed up. But her initial show was at Hotel Ziggy, which in my opinion was the venue where she arrived in more casual clothes. The supporters got to be really close to her, and there was no partition between her and the audience. It was really laid back. I was at that show, and the whole vibe was giving fireside chat.
Whoa, how you guys doing tonight? Genki? Arigatou, daisuki! Oh, this is crazy. You guys ready to have a good time tonight? Yes! I said, you guys ready to have a good time tonight? That's what I like to hear.
Come on, LA.
Yeah. そうね、本当に、こんばんは. My name is Crystal K. Thank you so much for coming, you guys.
There are so many artists who can sing a song, but how many of them can talk about a song? In this next clip, Crystal gets really self-reflective and talks about her first song, Eternal Memories, what it was like recording the song then, and what the song means now over 2 decades later.
Eternal Memories. Yeah. That was my debut single. 1999. I was 13. I was actually 12 when I recorded it. Yeah, the baby, right? Baby cootie. And it's just, I don't know, something about this song, it takes me back. But just imagine being 12 and you're like, gotta find myself. I'm like, I'm still finding myself. You know, it's a really deep song, and it's like, you know, leaving the house, leaving my home, and finding someone to love, and I'm like, I don't understand the lyrics, but I love the melody and the yeah, it'll be a whole different song then. But it's just now that I'm grown, I feel like I finally caught up to the song. And I feel that way with a lot of my songs, and it's just, yeah, oh, thank you. And it's lovely to see, like, a lot of people, we kind of grew together. Yeah. So yeah, tonight I'm gonna say a lot of thank yous. I'm gonna be saying a lot of thank yous tonight, but I really, really, really love you guys.
While we're on the subject of her live performances in America, a lot of people may wonder, wow, for as awesome as an entertainer as Crystal K is, where's her US crossover? Where's her American career, American album, anything dealing with the Western music industry, more specifically the US? Well, in 2018, during an interview with Macon, a California based cultural publication, Crystal explained the difficulties she had trying to adapt to how promotion is done in the United States music business. She said, quote, I didn't have those skills, the hustle mentality in me. So whenever I would have the chance to meet, I don't know, Gaga's manager or somebody important in the industry, I wouldn't be able to pitch myself. End quote. So really, that says less about Crystal's talent and more about the subtle cultural nuances between Japan and the US. It's very layered when you look at it. Crystal has what could be described as a Western look. She's half American, speaks English with no accent, and has the charisma to have a booming career in America. But what it boiled down to is that no matter how she looks or sounds on the outside, she was born and raised in Japan. Therefore, the mindset, cultural values, societal upbringing that made her a sensation in Japan didn't really translate into what America looks for in its artists. America has an aggressive self advocacy networking culture, whereas the polar opposite is true for Japan. What works in one country may not work in another, and vice versa. So, to sum it all up, her US rollout didn't happen the way we anticipated due to cultural differences. Nonetheless, she still did release one US single in 2014 called Busy Doing Nothing, which had a really fun, high energy music video to go along with it. Now, we've talked enough about Crystal the singer, the actress, the entertainer. Let's talk about Crystal the person. Who is she off stage? What's her personality? We do know she's very interactive with her supporters, and for a season, she did an Instagram live series called Makanai Mondays, where she engaged with her audience on a number of topics. One in particular being a Ask Me Anything live, where viewers got to ask their most pressing questions.
What inspires your music the most? Real experiences. Beautiful things I see, like beautiful scenes I see in daily life, or it can be like a view I remember from traveling overseas, or heartbreak. I think when the love is over is the easiest time to write songs. I can't write songs when you're like super happy and in love. なんか恋愛中は私歌詞書けない。ごめん、全然答えてなかったね。週にどのぐらいトレーニングしてますか？ドラマに出たい。日本のドラマにも出たいです。Nelly loves colors. Are you going to act in any Japanese K dramas in the future? I need to really brush up my Korean so I can be in K dramas.
But then, out of nowhere, the Makanai Monday videos stopped. Where did they go? Well, Crystal has an answer for that one too.
Hi, Crystal.
Oh my God. Oh my Crystal.
I guess just for you. If I could take a picture with you.
Crystal, where's the Makanai Mondays?
I know.
I've been here.
Yeah.
Because of the time difference.
The time difference.
To kind of take a break.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. She also uses her social media platform to bring light on social justice issues like Black Lives Matter. As you can see in this post from 2020, she writes, "Grateful to peacefully march with everyone in solidarity last Sunday." And through her career, though she's mostly catered to a Japanese audience, she still very much identifies with her African American heritage, as seen in celebratory posts like this one, where she's uplifting Black women. "I am a Black woman," she writes. "We are Black women. We take pride in being Black women. We spread love and light. We use our voice, time, talents to uplift our sisters and brothers. We celebrate the majesty of our African ancestry. We are powerful and strong. We are tender and graceful. We are leaders and trailblazers. We are mothers, sisters, daughters, friends, lovers. Adversity comes and we rise. Struggle follows and we still rise. We walk fully in our confidence. We walk fully in our strength. We walk fully in our beauty. We walk fully in our purpose. We are whole unto ourselves and connected. We remember all we have lost and all who have sacrificed so we may be. We uphold our ancestors through our legacy. We are Black women, proud and free. She also commonly identifies as mixed race and enjoys encouraging other public figures of mixed heritage too. Here she is with Naomi Osaka saying, "Yay to your victory today! A star and a sweetheart." Just thinking of how many people she touches and will continue to, especially all the mixed kids in the world. It's just so beautiful, inspiring. Continue to shine your light. We love you. And then here she is. Again, you go girl, I'm proud of Japan, slowly but surely. This is a pageant winner who underwent fire some years ago for being mixed race and wanting to represent Japan. Also, Crystal K is an advocate for mental health. And she writes, "I hope we can become more aware and mindful of others as well as our own mental health. We really don't know what each individual may be going through. Ask how people are doing, and if you need help, please don't be afraid or ashamed to get help." Also, as a fun fact, here she is with TLC's T-Boz, and she mentions that the first album she ever bought was a TLC album. How cool is that? Now, I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed this, but Crystal's skin has always been flawless. And don't put it on the makeup because you can always tell if somebody has good skin or not, even through the makeup. Plus, I've seen her without it and it still looks amazing. So, like the saying goes, drop the skincare regimen. And she actually does. Crystal K has a YouTube channel where she does a variety of different videos, and one of them is actually about her skincare routine. So, if ever you wanted to know, you can check it out. Now, the video is in Japanese, but there's translating apps for that. Come on now, where there's a will, there's a way. And while we're on a similar subject, I had to do a sidebar on Homegirl's hair game. A lot of female entertainers like to play it safe when it comes to their look. They'll either keep on a signature color or stay around the same length of hair. But one thing I've noticed about Crystal is that she has the confidence to experiment with a bunch of different looks and looked good doing all of them. She's probably dropped as many hairstyles as she has albums. Look at all these eras. She debuted with her natural hair, but over the decades, she's given us long, she's given us short, curly, blonde, brown, and as recently, braids. There's artists who will change their hairstyle, but unfortunately, it can be real hit or miss. But with Crystal K's hair, it's always been hits, just like her music. So while Crystal K is an only child, I thought it was worth mentioning she does have a best friend that she refers to as her sister and her family, and it's fellow singer Boa, who is a Korean singer who, like Crystal K, speaks fluent Japanese, sings in Japanese, and they've been friends since they were small teenagers, like 15. So they'd kind of navigate the industry together. Both speak fluent Japanese, both have Korean ancestry, and have been friends for decades. And speaking of kids, Crystal recently did an interview with Nylon Manila where she was asked what she would tell her younger self. And she said, quote, "I'd tell her to do exactly what I did, but never take any opportunity for granted. Preparation and practice are your best friends. Always show up as prepared as possible for every performance or job so you can be proud of your work and never live with regret. Be proud of who you are and never be afraid to take up space." End quote. She was also asked where does she see herself in the future? And she said, quote, "I see myself still singing, but performing more and more abroad. I'd love to be mentoring or producing the next generation of artists, taking on acting projects, and maybe even a mom of 1 or 2 kids with someone I love. And of course, prepping for a 35th anniversary show." End quote. All right, so we've gone backwards into Crystal's life and we've gone forward into the future as far as what she hopes to achieve next. So let's bring it back present day. In July 2025, Crystal announced her North American tour in honor of her 25th anniversary. And rightfully so. Her career is not over by any means, but looking back, how many entertainers can say they've had a 25-year career with no scandal attached? She has presented herself as a role model for upcoming entertainers, an inspiration for those who relate to her most, and a trailblazer in her industry that has paved the way for many other artists. Her career is something to be studied for the way that she has consistently released quality work, collaborated with so many artists, And while some artists' personal lives overshadow their work, with Crystal, it's just the opposite. Yeah, she's told us some things about her life, but in the end, it's her music that speaks the loudest. I hope one day she'll give us a book or someone can make a movie about her life because she certainly has a story worth telling. Happy anniversary, Crystal K. And for those of you watching, comment below what your favorite Crystal K song is.